Hey everyone, it's Lex Brianna. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If you love fashion and videos that inspire you to be greater, then don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. So as you can tell from the title, this video is about letting go of the wrong person and attracting better people into your life, or the one into your life. So if you're in a situation where you just feel that the person you're dating or the person you're in a relationship is unworthy of you, or they're unloyal, the situation is toxic, and you just feel that God is telling you that you should let this person go, but you don't know how. You try to let go, but you feel too attached. You feel like you're in love with them, and whatever your situation may be, you're not alone. I've experienced this. I know several other women who have experienced this. So I just felt that this video was necessary, and I finally learned how to let go and start attracting better for myself. And so I'm going to let you know how to attract the right person into your life. The first thing that I did to learn to let go was to find God, find myself. It's pretty much the same thing because God exists within me. So once I begin to connect with God, I begin to connect with myself. So how did I do that? My senior year in college, long story short, my friend invited me to her church, New Home Ministries. I started going to Bible study on Wednesdays and Sunday services. And once I went with her, I just couldn't stop going because I fell in love with my pastor, Samuel Blakes. I'll tag him in this video. He's on Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, all that. But he is amazing, and going to that church really helped to change my life. I took notes. I went faithfully, and before this, I didn't really like church. I don't know why. I think it was because I went to church with my family, so I probably wasn't focused. I was distracted, or maybe I was too young. I don't know. But my senior year, I fell in love with church, and I learned how to pray. I learned how to worship and connect with God. And another thing that I did was get on YouTube and look at inspirational video after inspirational video after inspirational video. So I would look at Chanel Cooper Sykes. I loved Abraham Hicks videos. I still watch Abraham Hicks. A bunch of Will Smith videos, Oprah, all kind of stuff. Anything that I felt would make me a better person and change my mindset. So I went to church. I got on YouTube. And I went to Barnes & Noble, and I started buying so many self-help books and soulful books, and books like The Secret taught me about the law of attraction and how to change my thoughts, and what I focus on expands, and all type of stuff that I didn't know anything about. I started to learn about it because during this time I was about to graduate, and when I did graduate, I couldn't find a job. Didn't have money, was still living with my mama. I don't know, I didn't have the relationship that I wanted at the time. Like, I didn't have a lot of things that I wanted, so I wanted to change my life. I wanted to become a better woman. I was just ready for a good change, and that's what happened when I started this spiritual journey. So once I really started to connect with God and get to know God and pray and really sit down and talk to God about my problems, I really, like, my eyes just started to open. That's what you call being woke. Like, you wake up to who you are, you fall in love with yourself, you become more confident. I just started to evolve into a whole new person. And so once you connect with God, you'll start making wiser decisions. You'll receive clarity, and you'll you'll just be able to hear God's voice. Another thing that I had to do was remove clutter, because you can't hear God's voice with a whole bunch of stuff going on. So to help me find God, I had to just remove a whole bunch of clutter. So if you feel like you just gotta be talking to somebody, you gotta have a boo, you gotta have somebody texting you, you gotta have somebody at your house, in your bed, on your phone, FaceTime, or you gotta have friends over, you gotta have the music blasting, TV on, you gotta be on the phone with your friend, you gotta go out every weekend. Like, you're creating clutter in your life. You have too much noise in your life. So once you begin to remove all of those things and find solitude and be okay with being alone, and just, I don't know, even if you give yourself 2 hours a day or an hour a day to yourself in peace and quiet and stillness, then that's when you'll be able to hear God's voice loud and clear, and you'll receive guidance, you'll receive clarity, and you'll just know what it is that you need to change about yourself, what it is that you're doing wrong, who do you need to let go of, who do you need to delete from your phone. Everything will become clear to you. And that's what happened to me. And when I tell you, my taste in men just completely changed. Like, the men, and this is not even a video to bash anybody from my past. Like, this was years ago. We don't care about each other anymore. This was so long ago. But anyway, the dude that I was, it's like the dudes that I was wasting my time on, they just became so unattractive to me, because I was just on, and well, I'll save that for the end of the video. But anyway, my taste in men changed, and I changed. My eyes opened to who I was, and I just didn't want to settle anymore for anything less than what I knew I deserved. So yeah, find God, and I'm telling you, your whole mindset is going to change, and you're going to want to let go. And yeah, trust me. And it's going to be certain times where you let the person go, or you delete their number, and then a couple months later you go back. You know, you're gonna be rocky. You know, you're gonna go back and forth, connecting to God and then going back to old ways, connecting with God. You're gonna go through that stage, because that's normal. Like, everybody does it. Don't beat yourself up. That's just life. Like, you have to grow, and you're gonna grow slowly. It's not just gonna happen overnight. So yeah, don't be patient with yourself, because God is patient with us. He's not. I always say that humans are way more judgmental than God, because God is patient. God is always here waiting on you to connect with him and, you know, get close to him. He's always close. So yeah. The second thing that I had to do to learn to let go and start attracting better was change my focus. So my close friend and I was going through similar situations, and whenever I was having issues with my dude, whatever you want to call him, 9 times out of 10 she's having issues too. So we would go to her apartment and we would just have a venting session or whatever, and I would just vent to her and tell her everything that was going on. You know, if I thought he was lying, he's a manipulator, he's afraid of commitment. We would just go on and on for hours talking about what we didn't want in a man and what we didn't like about this guy, and how he's the same as the past. And, you know, we would just go on and on speaking negative things about men, basically, and not realizing that what we focus on expands. What we focus on is what we will attract. So the more we would talk about this, the more we would attract similar situations. So I remember letting go of a situation and then I attracted somebody else, and he was just like the past dude. And it's because I'm constantly focusing on everything that I didn't like about this guy, and I'm always talking about it, I'm always thinking about it, I'm always texting about it and venting about it. So I'm gonna always continue to attract that into my life. So that had to change. So again, I was watching YouTube videos, connecting with God, all those things at the same time. So I came across a video by Chanel Cooper Sykes, and I believe it was 7 Steps to a Miracle or something like that. How to make a miracle happen. I don't remember, but if I remember it, I'm gonna put it in the description box. But she was telling you how to make miracles happen, and for one of the steps she was saying, write down your desires and make it plain. So I wrote down my desire, dream man, and I made it plain. I was real specific about what I wanted. So she said, be specific. I wrote down every single thing that I wanted my dream man to have. And so what this did was change my focus. I started, instead of me focusing on what I didn't like, what I thought about men, how they're all the same, blah, blah, blah. I changed my focus from that, and I started to focus on good men, faithful men, honesty, men who wanted kids, men who sends flowers, men who opens car doors, men who does this, you know, a bunch of positive things about men. And I wrote it all down, I prayed about it, and I let it go. And I also started following, I subscribed to different couples channels on YouTube. That's how I got into YouTube too. That's how I really started liking YouTube. I started watching couples channels. I got on Instagram and followed different couples on Instagram, married men on Instagram, married women on Instagram. I just wanted to see good, faithful men and happy couples. And so once I did that, then I was able to change my mind, and you know, I started to change how I felt about men, and I changed my belief about men. And once that happens, I started attracting better. Whatever you're focused on all the time is what you're gonna get. Whether it's good or bad, positive or negative, you're gonna get whatever you're focused on. So if you're focused on the men who lie and cheat and don't want to commit and all of those negative things, then you're going to continue to attract men just like that, because you can't seem to change your belief. But once you start focusing on the good guys, the men, the real men, you know, then that's what you're going to attract. Once you stop speaking negative things like all men are dogs, then you'll be able to change your mindset, and you'll be able to start attracting better men into your life. So after you've connected with God, you've learned how to fall in love with yourself, you're connecting with yourself, you've changed your focus, and you've stopped speaking so negatively about men. You've started to focus on real men, good men, and now you have a new mindset, you have a new belief. Now, the third and final step that I took to let go and start attracting better was pass the test. So I'm a firm believer that before you move on to the next level, you will be tested. You know, the enemy does not want you to be great, so he's going to try to hate on you. You know, he's gonna try to hate on your destiny. So when I started dating my boyfriend, my real man, my king, I was tested by God, I believe. 3 of the guys from my past that I used to want to be serious with, and they were not ready for commitment at the time, they all came back to me, like changed men, I guess, so they say. You know, 1 month, one dude came back, the next week, another dude came back telling me they love me, they want to be good men, they wanted to bring me and show me off to their family. I'm talking about they were doing things that they had never done in the past. I'm like, oh my goodness, the enemy is going ham. Like he is really trying hard. I'm like, this man that I'm dating must be the one, because the enemy is just, I know this gotta be a test, because that's just not a coincidence for all three of these dudes to be coming at me at the exact same time. No, this is the devil. I know this is the devil. So yeah, I had to be strong, because these were dudes that I still had feelings for, you know, and so I had to be strong and let it go. Sometimes I didn't text back or call back. I had to say no to dates with them, you know. No, I don't want to come to your house. No, I'm not sleeping with you. You know, I had to be real strong, you know. And when I did that, I was blessed. Like, I'm now in a happy relationship, the best relationship I've ever been in. And I don't know, I just don't regret turning down those dudes. You may be lonely, you know, you may be feeling like, I've been single for a long time. You know, I was single for a really long time before I got in a relationship, but you still can't settle. You have to pass the test. Like, the enemy is gonna try to throw any old dude at you just because he knows you're feeling lonely. You know, it's one of those nights where you wish you were texting somebody or dating somebody, but you gotta be strong. You gotta remember that God is gonna send you everything that you desire in a man, and don't settle for less than that just because you're lonely or just because they're available. Like, no, you deserve the world. Literally, you deserve a king. You are a queen. You know, stop settling for dudes from the past who have already shown you that they're unworthy. You know, they don't want to commit to you, they don't respect you. Just let it go. Let it go, pass the test, and you'll be fine. I hope that this video inspired someone to change their mindset and change their thinking about men and about who they are. And I hope that this video inspires you to become a better woman and start attracting better men into your life. If you like this video, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching.